We have at one time or another asked ourselves, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of this life? Do we think we are wise enough to understand God? God is truth. God is the light of lights. God is Satchidanand. He is the existence absolute, knowledge absolute, and bliss absolute. He is the inner ruler of this body and mind, Antaryami. He is omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent. He exists in past, present, and future. He is eternal, perpetual, and indestructible. Vallabh philosophy insists that we are part or ansh of this God. Vallabh philosophy was founded by Sri Vallabhacharya, also known as Pushti Marg. The philosophy means the path of devotion through God's grace. His love and devotion to Sri Krishna was as fiery as the fire. His presence burnt away turmoils and discontentment of the people who came to him. Sri Mahaprabhuji, as Sri Vallabh is popularly known throughout, loved every being, irrespective of his caste or birth. Whoever came to him received the love of Sri Krishna as his divine gift. He was a brilliant scholar who dazzled scholars and pandits by his profound knowledge, logic, and love for God. His single-minded goal was to preach Krishna Bhakti and strengthen people's faith in Sri Krishna. During his time, Hindu religion was often misinterpreted and consequently misunderstood. Sri Vallabhacharya put things right and drew people back to the religion. He propounded a philosophy called Shuddhadvaita on the basis of 4 scriptures: Vedas, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutras, and Srimad Bhagavat. He says Brahma is Sat Chit Anand, meaning existence, consciousness, and bliss. It is the absolute truth of which Atma or Jiva is a tiny part. Purna Anand or absolute bliss can be achieved only by pure devotion towards Brahma. He established Pushti Marg or path of unconditional love and devotion to Sri Krishna, who according to the scriptures is absolute Brahma. Gnana, Karma and Bhakti are threefold means to realize God and liberation. But according to Sri Vallabhacharya, in this Kali Yuga, the paths of Gnana and Karma are very difficult to tread. To attain the blissful grace of Srinath Ji, he suggests accepting Diksha of Brahma Sambandha so that we live our normal lives, thereby fulfilling social duties and responsibilities, but with total devotion towards God. Therefore, he does not advocate sannyas. As a very practical religion, Vallabh philosophy emphasizes on Manasi Seva, which means that no rituals need be compulsorily followed to perform Seva of God. Seva can be performed at house so that the house is transformed into a temple. Is Pushti Marg as orthodox as Hindu religion? Pushti Marg is a part of Hinduism. Hinduism brings along with it a set of ideals by which we have to live. These ideals to the modern mind seem outdated and too restrictive. The chief aim of a Hindu is to attain moksha or salvation from the cycle of birth and death, whereas Pushti Marg believes in serving God and attaining Him. Pushti Marg is pure vegetarian and against any type of activity which causes harm to anybody. It follows no discrimination on the ground of sex, caste and creed. Non-violence is derivative of love and compassion, which are essential principles of Pushti Marg. In the Mahabharata, Sri Krishna wanted Arjun to tread the path that the world would follow. In order to convince Arjun, Krishna gave the example of himself. Nothing have I to do in the three worlds, nor is there anything worth attaining unattained by me. Yet do I perpetually work. I ever have my existence in action. If I do not work, the worlds will perish. Contrary to people believing in salvation or mukti as the ultimate motive in one's life, Pushti Marg does not advocate moksha as the supreme aim, but emphasizes on the continual human birth to do seva and bhakti of Lord Krishna, so that finally he gives refuge in himself and one is able to take part in his Leela. He can be worshipped as our master, friend, husband, child, etc. As a dynamic attempt to spread Vallabha Vedanta and Vaishnavism, a foundation in the form of Vallabha Vichar Foundation is laid. Vallabha Vedanta Academy and Research Centers have been established in the Department of Philosophy of Mumbai University as well as that of Saurashtra University at Rajkot during the academic year of 2005-2006 by a philanthropic institution, Srimati Bhagirathi Charitable Trust of Mumbai.
Since last few years I have been observing in India and overseas that Indian youth is drifting away from the heritage and cultural value. Now here the question is why? They need logical and scientific answers to all their queries which earlier used to be faith oriented. I feel for the very same reason that the youth is interested in finding their roots. However, books are not available because they are either in Sanskrit or in Pali or in Ardhamadhi. Secondly, they need some kind of a authentic study. Now this happens only at the level of the university. The reason for commencing the academic courses in Vallabha Vedanta was very same.
It was absolutely necessary because nowadays the old-fashioned pathshalas are not there. Nobody teaches the way they used to previously teach the doctrines and the philosophy and the religion of Vallabh Sampradaya. So it's a good initiative. The old day method of teaching was more focusing and concentrating on the particular aspect of the granthas and the treatise. And this course is more panoramic.
Humble efforts in this direction have already been made with the introduction of certificate and postgraduate diploma courses of one academic year in Mumbai University and Saurashtra University. This has been well responded and well received by the Vaishnava fraternity.
In today's world, there is no religion. We don't have anyone to follow. So whatever that we live everyday life, who is going to taught us whether right or wrong? So ultimately, forget the rituals or religion part of things. Ultimately, how we lived every day, we required something to fall upon, and that thing, this Vallabhacharyaji's principle is very much there to fall upon.
I was very curious whether this Pushti Marg is as identical to the old Hindu religion or is one of the sect, or otherwise what are the basic concepts or principles underlying this philosophy. So that's why I was very curious to know about these fundamental principles of this Vaishnavism. That's why I joined this course.
Efforts are being made to introduce higher studies at postgraduate levels in the near future. It was decided to organize a cohesive group of students of Vallabha Vichar academics in particular and like-minded Vaishnavites in general in the name and style of Vallabha Vichar Foundation under affiliation of Srimati Bhagirathi Charitable Trust. Members of the foundation will operate at different locations and interact occasionally for the mutual benefits of the members and Vaishnava fraternity at large.
The scholars, the professors, the teachers, students and Vaishnava fraternity at large has expressed on a number of occasions that we should expand our activities. I feel for that reason that we should reach out to the larger mass by starting online courses, which is on its way. Apart from it, I desire to commence activity from other universities apart from Mumbai, Saurashtra, Kolkata and Chennai to Udaipur, Raipur, Jaipur and the belts in which Vaishnav fraternity is in larger number.
The team behind this foundation comprises Shri Avinash Parekh, Shri Hemang Jangla, Shri Kaushik. The foundation firmly believes that the school of thought established by Srimad Vallabhacharya Ji is relevant in the modern world as well, in mitigating misery, confusion, conflicts and commotion, and that it needs to be propagated systematically. As we have commonly heard, the purpose of life is the life with a purpose. Vallabha Vichar Foundation aims at building a purposeful life dedicated to the service of God.
सात्विका भगवद भक्ता ये मुक्ता वधिकारिण भवांत संभवा दैवात् तेषामर्थे निरूप्यते भगवत् शास्त्रमाज्ञाय विचार्य च पुनः पुनः यदुक्तं हरिणा पश्चात् संदेह विनिवृत्तये एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्र गीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव मंत्रोप्येकस्तस्य नामानि कर्माप्येकम् तस्य देवस्य सेवा इत्याकलय्य सततं शास्त्रार्थ सर्वनिर्णय श्रीभागवत रूपं च त्रयं रचनीयताम्।